This is crazy.
You been in the engine room yet?
No, I haven't. Is that where we lost Rob? Rob's been hiding in the engine room. Is this the future right here?
That is the future.
So I got all three engines. Pardon?
Smooth boy two-rotor?
Yeah, right?
So I got all three engines up for that's just a, of course that's a factory engine with cast iron plates, cast iron front, middle and rear, and then the OEM housings, right? Then here I've got the next evolution, which was billet front, middle and rear, but OEM housings.
Right.
Okay. And now the real deal, billet.
And you guys have been testing these for almost 2 years now?
Almost 2 years.
Look how cool that looks, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
It looks like a flux capacitor or some shit.
It is, man.
So,
What that is.
so your brother was dropped some knowledge on us and basically explained that the plates and billet are pretty much indestructible. So what's the main benefit of going to a billet housing?
Well, okay, so the OEM housing, once you start getting up there in the boost, and when I'm talking get up to so like 60 pounds plus, it starts to deflect.
I'll never get there.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, 60 pounds, I'm sorry.
60 pounds plus. So it starts to deflect around the combustion area, right? So I'll give you a look at that so you can see what I'm talking about. This is OEM housing here. So what was happening was they would they're pretty weak through here, and of course they were only designed to make 200 or 300 horsepower, right? So we're doing triple and quadruple that now. But they would start to deflect around this area here.
When you say actually push this out?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll push that out because that's when combustion was taking place. I mean, we've tried to strengthen them by putting larger dowels and pins and what have you, but of course we got to the limit of that. So
this is all. I'm not a big rotary guy, so like this is all coolant passages.
Yeah, these are all coolant passages.
So would you fill some of them in to like?
Well, no. I mean, we didn't. All we did was they normally come with just like a 10mm bolt through here, so it was held together with a 18 10mm bolts.
Right.
So what we have done then is we've actually machined them. We put 1/2 bolts, and then we put 5/8 studs. Mm-hmm. And we've tried everything to try and keep that engine as rigid and as solid as possible, right?
If you ever see all the long bolts that we put into the motor, they're
the through bolts. So basically, the billet housing, right? Of course, when we machined it, of course, we paid a lot of attention through this area where the spark plug and the combustion chamber is, and we've like increased the size, we've decreased the cooling chambers, we've made it right from the get-go to use all 1/2 studs through there. So the thing is held together nice and tight, right?
Big boys. You see these big boys?
Yeah, I see those.
Yeah, versus these little Johns over here.
So now, what about like cost and reliability of a full billet engine versus just?
Well, I mean, look, the rotary guys, we were spoiled for a long time. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's why we've probably taken so long to get here because
rotary used to be like the cheap way, right?
That's right. And I mean, their cars running 680 and 650 with cast iron plates. Now you could do that once, twice, but sooner or later they will crack. And when they crack, then they leak oil or water onto the racetrack.
Right. So your whole thing is like, obviously you want to build a billet engine because you want to offer it to customers that can go out and beat on their cars over and over
at a high level.
Continue to have a runner. Whereas like a shop dragster, you could take it out, do one pass, blow it up, put it back together.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, and that was it. We did this. Well, the first thing was we couldn't get that 20B center plate anymore, right? Mazda stopped making it, so we weren't going to stop racing.
And they're like $7,000.
They were like $7,000.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. We were paying like $500 for
one plate.
For one plate.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it became like $7,000 or whatever it was, Australian. It was a joke. So we made the billet plate, and then we made the front, of course, middles and rears.
So, 20B center plate.
Yeah.
It's 3-rotor.
That's right.
It's not the same as this, just another one?
So this is intermediate. So the 20B center plate was 80mm plate. It had a stationary gear in it. Right?
And the 3-rotor shaft is 2-piece.
Yeah.
And it basically connects on the center.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
So that was the first one that became obsolete. And then that's what kind of sparked all these. So these things here, they are indestructible. I mean, the coating we use on them is like 80 Rockwell. I was just showing you guys. Oh yeah, here we go.
Here we have.
So this is a 20B center plate, as opposed to a normal.
That's so beautiful.
The port on this is not this. So that's a stock.
Yeah. So this is a middle. This is like a 13B middle plate.
Yeah.
That's a 20B center plate, so you can put the stationary gear in there.
crazy.
So the good thing with this is the fact that this coating is like 80 Rockwell, right? And it's hard. So I'll get you to just, this is a 4140 chromoly. You just grab it and see if you can.
Yeah, you're not even putting a mark in it.
No, just scratch that.
All right, he's trusting me to destroy something.
All right.
Nothing.
No, the thing's tough. So this plate is over 10 years old, right? And you can see where it's been running. You can just barely see where the rotor tracks, right? Unlike a cast iron engine, even though they're nitrited, they still wear. So after a season worth of racing, you'll feel like a 2 or 3 thou a depression there, and that's where they start to bypass a leak. Well, these things they don't.
So this just eliminates every little bullshit.
Yeah, and then like where we were cracking plates before through here or down through there, this because it's a bunch of billet, it doesn't break anymore. So basically, you can still blow your engine up. Don't get me wrong. If you tune it bad, or if you don't have the right clearances or the oil pressure or whatever, that will still fail.
Yeah.
But you will not break the plate.
Right.
Which is a bonus. One, you don't put oil or water on the ground and crash, and 2, you're not throwing away. Because when you spend so much time getting the cast iron plate and you dowel it and you pour it and you start it, once that breaks, that's all throwaway. Whereas this stuff here, you buy it, you don't have to worry about it. If you do have a catastrophic failure and you damage the coating, well, this coating can be taken off. We can weld whatever's underneath, remachine it, recoat it, and you're good to go again.
So, question for you guys.
Yes.
Again, not a rotary guy. This is a bridge port, right?
Yes.
Because it's got the little bridge here.
Yep.
Why bridge and not anything else? Or better question is, do your plates only come with a bridge port?
Oh no, you can order the plates in however configuration you want, right? But over the last 4 or 5 years, the most common asked for port is a bridge port, so that's what we do.
It's mostly
Noise.
For me, I love it because of the noise.
So, so another thing is and I'm trying to ask questions too, so people could understand, right? Is so this is your exhaust port here.
No, sorry. This is your intake.
This is your intake port.
Yeah, this is your intake port. So this is here, we call that an extend port. And this here is the bridge.
So why wouldn't you just have this all one?
Because
and just have a massive port. What does that little bit do there?
There's a corner seal that runs along here. On the road.
So unless you completely change the design
fall out.
It will fall out.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. So if you don't have this, the seal as it runs around here through the corner, it will actually fall through. So you need to have this little bit of material there.
Is that susceptible to cracking? Because this is a thin little piece of material.
When they were cast iron, yes, we would crack them. So and when we did the porting, we would really take out a lot of material there, and then the engine would get hot, cold, and then it would crack. So you'd have to throw it away.
Right.
With this thing here, it's less likely to do that because we've put the right amount of material in there.
Right.
We don't get that.
You get too aggressive and you'll burn a hole right through the center there. I've seen.
Might be a novice questions, but
Sure,
I don't know.
No.
It's valid question.
I'm glad you're asking that because I wasn't about to ask that
Back
question.
in the day when we used to do the porting on a cast iron port, there used to be a water jacket back here, so you had to be real careful how high up on the port you went. Otherwise, you'd end up through the water jacket.
If you make that too thin, then you could have your coolant go into your motor and just hydrolock it.
Absolutely, and then we used to have to put welded or put some kind of.
You were gonna say JB weld.
Yeah,
you were gonna say JB weld.
I gotta shut up.
You said used to.
No.
You said used to. It's fine.
I know a guy who's done that.
And all this was necessity. We did this because we had to. Them 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder guys were starting to get away from us. So now we're starting to crawl. We're making our way back up.
He didn't say anything about the V8 guys still. You're still down.
No, I think that's probably because they're slower than everything else.